Hello, everybody. Welcome to Nintendo Pow Block here on Watchfish Network. I'm your host, and Light Excited A to B. Joining me is the one, the only boss man himself, Mr. Corey Dirrig. Goodness, my mouth got stuck for some reason with excitement.
Jeez. Hi, Ed.
Hi. How are you?
I don't know. I'm tired. I'm not gonna lie to you. I'm a little bit tired, but it's okay. Surviving.
What a week. Everybody, I will say that definitely when we get into family news, because me and Corey had a discussion, I should say, and I will say when we get to it, I will say Corey did correct me about what we was talking about with this certain game that we're going to be talking about family news, and I explained to him my reason, so I just want to say before we get into that story, thank you, Corey.
I don't even remember what you're talking about, so I guess that was...
We was talking about Fatal Frame.
Oh, right.
In the series.
Dude, that was like yesterday. I don't remember that.
It's in the text. How can you forget?
I mean, I barely remember this morning, so... Look, man. Trying my best.
Look, I'm trying to admit my faults, and I try to thank you for correcting me.
Oh, you're welcome, I guess. I don't know. Yes. I just work here, man. I don't know what's going on. I don't know what's going on.
But yeah, and also everybody, I know we did our episode 400, so thank you guys for all the love and all the notes that you guys and text and messages that you send us. We do really appreciate it, and we know that this past Thursday, the day we're recording on a Friday, but the day before this recording, it was Satoru Iwata's passing, and so hopefully everybody had a good Iwata day, and just played games and just remembered on what he did, not only for Nintendo but games in general, just for the industry and everything. So it really was a great day, and just Satoru Iwata, he's still a legend, he's still an icon, and may he still continue rest in peace, and his legacy shouldn't be never forgotten for it. So yeah.
It's weird that I think we were on like episode 6 or 7 when that happened. Of this show. And so I can't believe it's been 9 years.
I know. And
we've really been doing this show that long.
Yeah.
First of all.
Yeah. And it's amazing that people still talk about Iwata. Oh, well, of course.
Sorry, I know this isn't a funny situation. It was just you set me up.
Yes, that is true. But Iwata, his words and his legacy is still, is strong. It's still continue to be used today. The director from the Souls games from Software even talked about Iwata not cutting and firing employees and stuff. Like that's just a huge impact of his legacy, of his words and stuff. So yeah.
I mean, he was a legend. The Wii, man. I mean, that's all you got to say. The Wii and the DS, and the Switch is like, I know he wasn't alive to see it come out, but like that's his legacy, Yeah. Everything he wanted Nintendo to be, the Switch had become. So, everything you see in the Switch is his brainchild, right? It's his legacy, and I know he probably won't get the credit for it, but we're gonna give it to him because he deserves it. So
yes. So just want to say that, but yeah, we're going to get into some housekeeping, everybody. If you want to support Nintendo Pow Block and our other podcasts, you can go to our Patreon at patreon.com/Boss Rush Network. Subscribing to tiers on our Patreon can grant you perks like the new exclusive pre and post shows, voting rights for Sportercast and Video Game Book Club, exclusive question threads for Spotlight Podcasts, early access to After Dark, and more. As always, though, your viewership and listenership is enough for us. Subscribe to the Boss Rush Network on YouTube and like this video. If you listen on Apple Podcasts or Spotify, or even if you don't, leave us a rating and a nice review on those platforms. You can find all of our banters, features, listicles, reviews, and more on our website, bossrush.net.
Yep.
So, Curry, do we have any upcoming content spotlights or anything?
Well, we Aaron Grubb's interview is out. You can go check that out. Stephanie has a couple more indie studios that will be out in the coming weeks that you can check out as well. Tan Ant Studios, Ritual Studios will be coming out after Gamescom, which is a really great interview. Ritual Studios, developer of the music game Fretless that we saw at PAX, and there's quite a few other ones. So
Yes.
I still have to edit them and get them scheduled, but very excited for them. So you should check those out. And I think that's about it for now.
I found out Level 1 Gaming is going to be at PAX West, so I'm excited to see them. Hope we all could just link up and just hang out and talk and everything. I don't know if Laura Incognito is going to be there.
Yeah, I think they're going to be there. I'm wearing a shirt, wearing Cog's shirt. Health is wealth.
Yes,
the Defining Duke shirt, his Xbox podcast that he does for Last Stand. Love that show. Shout out
to him. Shout out to that whole crew. Yeah, if they're like, hopefully, if they're there, we see them, we all link up too, and everything. It's I was watching. We have a playlist, everybody, for our PAX videos, and I was just watching some of them, and just like, man, the enjoyment that I have, and I know people are kind of tired of us talking about PAX, but I
they
keep
because
saying,
they're going to be hearing a lot more because we're going to West.
Yes,
So
yes, everybody, we are going to PAX West, but it's just it that experience is just like, I feel like for Boss Rush just in general, and I keep saying this and I still believe it, it literally has been a milestone year. And I think we keep hitting these milestones and doing these things, and it's just like something for a lot of us is brand new, but I'm like, it's a big deal for me personally. I'm like 8 years of just podcasting about video games, and being with you, Corey, for 8 years plus. Like, getting to this point is such a milestone. Hitting 400 on Power Block, the Destiny review, and just more, like, again, to talk to all of these developers, and even meeting people that we meeting people that we interview in real life. Like, it's just been a big year. And I think, like, at PAX West, for some people, there's gonna probably be some updates. We'll probably still do some more recording and talking and playing games, and stuff. And it's amazing to me. So that's why I feel like for us, it's really been a milestone year.
Yeah, I mean, it's been a huge year for us. I mean, we keep talking about it, but I don't know. I think the best is yet to come. I think there's still a lot. I think there's still a lot to do, and so we're gonna do it, I guess. As the story goes. But
Yes.
yeah, we've done a lot. I'm excited for the rest of everything. So let's do it. Do the thing.
Yes. Well, everybody, it's time for Snackendo. And Corey, anything that you've been snacking on, or
I mean, not really. I mean, I guess since we recorded on Friday last week, didn't we? So I guess
mm-hmm.
we cooked out last weekend, uh, which was fun. My wife bought these like German sausages, and so we cooked
Ooh.
those and hot dogs for the kids and chicken, and basically we did it just to see if our grill worked because we bought a grill like a couple weeks ago, and I put it together,
mm-hmm.
and then we never figured out if it worked or not. So yeah, we did that. But also like, you know, it was also really good. We had chicken and we had green peppers and onions grilled up and all kinds of stuff. And we're preparing a bunch of food for Riley's birthday tomorrow. So I'm very excited. Lots of
Yes,
food, lots and
nice.
lots of food
Yes.
to cook.
Um, for me, I've been eating a lot of Haagen-Dazs ice cream because it has been hot in the Illinois. Whew, good goody moody has it been hot. So I've been eating. Yesterday on Thursday, I went and got white chocolate raspberry truffle, which was really good. There's something about raspberry and vanilla ice cream that I love, and I don't know. You used to eat those little strawberry raspberry cups. Corey, it had like vanilla in it, and then it was just like it felt like it was jelly or something. A
I
strawberry.
don't do strawberries, so no.
Oh, okay.
Nope.
Uh,
Pass.
Did you ever do like the
Nope.
fudge ones, or
I don't know. I no, maybe. I don't know.
have you ever seen them like they be like 8 cups? They're like small little ice cream cups.
Yeah,
Um,
yeah, I've done little ice cream cups, but mostly just like vanilla or chocolate. Nothing like
Mixed in.
nothing
So
weird.
uh,
So
yeah, but to me, like they're so good, and I'm like, oh, I love raspberry flavor or gem flavor like in vanilla ice cream. It was just so good. Um, and then today I have my chicken lo mein, and I would tell you this time they stuffed my food. Like I had a lot of lo mein and a lot of fried rice, and I'm like, "Ooh, this is gonna take me most of the day to eat," and it sure did, and it was so delicious.
wow.
For it. So, yeah, that's pretty much what I've been snacking on, and pretty much what you've been snacking on, Corey. Um, which I found out our grocery store, they got the peach flavor crush, which if anybody remember the brand Knee High, it tastes just like their peach, Knee High peach. Knee High is like a very southern kind of pop, I should say, or soda for those who don't
Who say it
call
wrong?
it that.
It's fine. You can say it.
Uh,
They say it wrong. It's okay.
you call it pop, Corey?
Yeah,
Oh, okay.
I'm from the Midwest.
Okay, just want to make sure. Well, because I I literally went to St. Louis years back, like 2000 and like
Yeah, well, they're wrong.
2007.
It's okay. You're
Uh,
allowed to be wrong, but you just have to admit that you're wrong.
well, it was weird because in St. Louis they call it soda,
That's what I'm saying.
and
They're wrong, not you. Them. They're wrong.
so it was just like I grew up saying pop. Shout out to Lamont Reed. Uh, Shout out to him in St. Louis. I should ask him what does he call it. And everything. I'm very curious. So it won't be a donut situation, everybody. like the whole boss rush, the whole boss rush had an opinion about certain donuts, and we would leave it at that.
Dang.
So, uh, but everybody, it's time for playing with power, and I'm going to go ahead with this one. Playing with power. I have started Coffee Talk episode 2. That is going to be my Switch game that I'm going to be playing for a while. Um, during like this weekend. I'll probably get done finish it up by Sunday. Um, uh, but I just started. I got the premium collection edition, so I finally took it out of that and popped it in, and it looks really good. Very like graphic wise, sprite wise, it looks very different than the first game.
Does it?
Yeah, it looks. This one looks a little bit more cleaner with the sprites. It looks a little bit more tighter. Also,
Hmm. Ed's having a coughing fit, everybody. That's why he keeps stopping.
yes. I'm sorry about
I'm
that,
waiting for
everybody.
you to hit the microphone to where it just stops the recording and we have to start over again.
I'm
I'm
trying to
waiting for
avoid
that.
that.
I'm waiting for it.
I'm avoid. I put my whole cords to the other side of my mic to be
Mm-hmm.
like I don't want to
Mm-hmm.
hit
Mm-hmm.
anything.
Yep.
So
Sure.
uh, I'm doing my best, everybody. But yeah, I started that, so I'm just still like in the beginning. So I definitely can't wait to play more. Uh, but I have been putting a lot of time in Dragon Age Inquisition. That game has like really got its hooks in me. And I'm still customizing stuff, trying to get my build a little bit better, and for that. And man, it's really good. Uh, I'm not trying to sneeze. It looks like want to come out and stuff. But yeah, I'm kind of stuck at this part, so I'm trying to get my characters a little bit stronger. To where we get past this these enemies and defeat these defeat them so we could build the camp and then go a little bit further. But it's like kicking my tail, and I got like my strongest team members out there, so I'm trying to figure out what is the best plan to go about it. I think I need to get some more uh items and custom make some stronger gear so I can have all of us like on the same team, like with our equipment, and have the highest weapons and then go out and just like literally destroy and everything. Because right now I'm like at level 16, and the level system, like you can't really grind in this game. It really feels like you gotta do a lot of missions and a lot of going out reading books and getting all of that XP stuff for it. But like every area that you have, there's a lot of side missions that you could do before you get into the main mission. So I'm definitely enjoying that. What about you, Corey? Oh, also everybody, I'm sorry. I finished Zero Mission for Metroid. Okay, go ahead, Corey.
Are you sure?
Oh, sure. Yeah.
Are sure? Are you sure?
Yes. Yes.
So I've been playing, really been struggling to get through Paper Mario. And the only reason why I'm still honestly, the only reason why I'm still playing it is because of book club. Um, and I really don't want to. Like, I'm so bored by Paper Mario. I know this is people's favorite one. That people say this is the best one. I think that just says something about Paper Mario overall instead of just you know. Luigi's Mansion 2, however, is much better. And that's really fun. Been playing that. Also Destiny 2, been playing that, but also I've been stuck in Elden Ring, just exploring and playing it for some reason. I've have 12 hours into my this playthrough, and I don't know if I'm enjoying it yet or not. Like, it's one of those, I just don't know if I'm enjoying it or not. So I think I am.
Mm-hmm.
I think I am. I don't know if I am. But I'm having an okay time. So, we'll see what happens, but um you know, I think there's something to the game that makes me want to keep playing it. Like the exploration aspect and the world aspect really remind me of Breath of the Wild and Tears of the
Mm-hmm.
Kingdom, which is a lot of the reason why I think I'm still playing it, to be honest, is because it really gives you that feeling of I'm in this world and I don't really know where to go. And if I go over here, this enemy's too strong. I'm not supposed to be here, so I'm going to go this way instead, right? Like,
Yeah.
it really gives you that feeling. And, I still am of the opinion that Soul, like this is definitely more difficult than something like Dark Souls, right? Um, and Bloodborne. I'm still of the opinion that these games aren't that difficult. You just have to. It's like really, you just have to grind it out, right? It's an RPG, right?
Hmm.
And if you don't level correctly, or you don't learn the character animations like, I don't know, old school NES games, and um you don't learn, then you're going to get stomped, right? And that's just how the game works. It's not that it's difficult. You just have to learn the patterns and learn how to learn the weapon you're using, and learn the kind of just how to play the game. And you know I think it's I'm having an okay time playing it. And here's the thing though. I So my created character, I looked up a Zelda template, and I'm playing as Princess Zelda in this game. So, that's been fun. It looks pretty good too. It's the Tears of the Kingdom version with her braided hair.
Nice.
It looks really good though, except um I need to find some armor that looks like it would be something she would wear, but overall, looks pretty good. I'm wielding a big shield I have a sword and an axe and a long sword. I don't know what any of this stuff is. I don't know what any of this stuff is in this game, man. I just go, people are really into the lore and finding out what the story is and where people are going. All I know is that every time I find whatever their equivalent of the bonfire is, it's like the Echo of Grace or something. I think it's what it's called. Like, every time I find a new one, this like Final Fantasy cosplayer shows up with one eye and like talks to me about stuff, and I'm just like, okay, whatever.
This
Um,
is everybody. This is me with Destiny.
so that's how I'm playing Elden Ring.
That's
I
the
fought
equivalent with me with Destiny.
I fought some giant like moldy plant scorpion guy on a bridge, and he had a sword, and then he could magically wield a light hammer that just kind of came out of nowhere, and then he would shove it back up somewhere where I just don't know where it went. And if you got behind him, he has this giant scorpion tail that just kind of knocked you over. But you know, I like I said, I I I understand that people think these games are difficult. I don't think the difficulty comes from it being just hard, right? I think the only
Mhm.
From Software game that does that in particular is Sekiro, is just pure skill based hard game, right? Um, and so I think this game, just like the other ones, you just have to learn and level correctly. And you have to level based on your skill. If you think you are strong enough to go fight something, then you can go fight it, right? But if you don't think you are, you can grind it out. The world resets at every bonfire thing, right? And so
Mhm.
I found this little camp outside of under this bridge, where there are enemy soldiers to the left of it, and there's a giant kind of bridge troll on the right, and I just kind of sat there and grinded it out for a couple levels, and then I went and fought the guy on the up in the castle. And you just gotta grind. That's the thing. You just gotta grind.
I think the thing with me is that I'm a little bit impatient. That's
That's the
what we
thing
are.
too, is like you gotta be
Is
you
being
gotta be
impatient.
patient.
And I think the impatient comes from not so much the grinding, or it's that stamina bar that makes me impatient. It's because I always feel like that my moves are limited, and I hate
Well, you
limited
gotta
moves.
you gotta level up your stamina bar.
I know, but I think I hate that
Well, then the
due
game's not
to
for
the fact
you.
I know that I'm trying to get to the point. Hershey. I think that's why I like stylized action, fast paced games because I'm not limited in my attacks and my stamina doesn't affect my combos and stuff like that. So I could, I still could practice my combos and be able to watch for patterns and you know be able to counterattack when I dodge or perfect dodge and stuff. I think it's that freedom of having um that space and not be limited with a stamina bar. Like if I want to do a 15 hit combo and I know how to chain it, I'm able to do that on a boss or an enemy. And it feels like with the Souls games that I don't get that I gotta start with 2 hits and then I gotta try to build my stamina up to hit 3 hits and it's just like, so you mean to tell me that I as a character has stamina that only could do 3 hits, but a boss could do about 7 hits in a row,
Yep.
because they don't have no stamina bar. And this and
Yeah.
I to me personally as an impatient player, sometimes that's just not my cup of Kool-Aid.
And
So
that, I mean, it's not for everybody. I don't really care for these games either. This is the first one I've actually spent more than
mm,
like, I mean, I beat Bloodborne, I guess. So there's that. And I played a lot of Dark Souls remastered when it came out, but like this is I'm just I don't know. I want to get to everybody I talk to says that there's like this wow moment that you get to, not
mm,
in this game, but just in FromSoft games in general. And I'm still trying to find that, and maybe I won't hit it. And like, if I don't hit it in the next week or so, I'll probably just hang it up. But like, I don't know. It's fine. It's fun.
I think that's why when I play games like the Division and Destiny, and I want like a machine gun or assault gun that has like about 70 plus some bullets in them, and quick reload because it's fast to me. And I keep saying the Contra thing, but I'm like, I don't want to have to worry about running out of ammo. Um, and yes, even though Destiny did fix that problem, I don't know about the Division, and stuff. Like when I play games like that, I want to be able to like murk a enemy or try to get a huge
Did you
chunk
just
of
say
the boss
Merc?
energy down. Yeah, I did. With my weapon um, and everything. So, but that's just me, everybody. Like I said,
No, I mean, that's fair. I'm just I don't really know why I'm still playing. uh, I just I don't know. I'm just having fun right now, and we'll see what happens, I guess.
yes,
But anyways, that's kind of all I've been playing. I mean, we had meetings this week, and like, I mean, we recorded every night this week, and the writers meeting was Tuesday, and then I was with Laurent tonight trying to get him set up for After Dark, and the boss rush kind of were toying around with the idea of launching the entertainment channel, so After Dark will live over there with some other content, right? And
mm-hmm.
so um I was kind of trying to get that all situated and seeing if it's worth putting After Dark on a separate, like, everything, even including like a Patreon maybe or whatever, right? Like, I don't know. I don't know yet. I want to We're playing around with that idea. It's just, we like having After Dark as part of the network, right?
Yes,
I think the concern is that it doesn't fit with anything else, especially like the game stuff. So we're testing it out on an entertainment channel, and then we're gonna see what else happens. I mean, it probably won't live on a separate Patreon, right? But it'll definitely live on a separate channel, and you know that kind of thing. We're
mm-hmm.
working on it. We're figuring it out. Uh,
Look, I was trying to figure out uh the message that you sent me like earlier this week. I'm like, okay, what did he do? Like, you changed the themes, and I'm like, oh, I was super confused with that.
You hurt my feelings. It's okay.
I literally thought you had recorded something. You just like, Eddie, I did something. So I'm thinking, okay, you made a video or something, and you put it out. What is it? You just said, go and look. I'm looking at everything, and I'm just like, I don't see anything. Everything, it all looked the same to me. I didn't know that you changed them or anything.
No, I didn't change. I didn't change anything. I just I adjusted some of the thumbnails because the thing with we're gonna get into the show, everybody. I'm sorry. The thing with some of our shows is that like there's no logo for any of the shows. Like Video Game Book Club and Spotlight podcasts don't have logos, so there's just words on the thing, right? So I finally like sat down and learned how to make certain things through, designing stuff, and I came up with a book club kind of not logo but kind of like an icon, right? And so I went through and like changed a bunch of that stuff, and I'm like, man, none of the other things match. So I had to go through, my OCD and my just everything's got to be perfect.
Once you tinker with something, everything gets tinkered with, or most
Yeah.
stuff gets tinkered with.
Yeah. So everything's fine now though. It's all fine. But I'm really happy with the way that a lot of this stuff turned out though. So yeah. I'm really also really happy with the new format for Boss Rush podcasts, and hopefully like I mean whatever happened to this week's episode, it like took off this week. Like we had like probably triple the views on YouTube and like a ton of extra listens this week on that show. So I don't know what happened, but our numbers are up across the board, and I'm super happy.
Nice.
So, and then I mean, obviously we're in a good direction with this show. If we could ever record before, it's time for somebody to get up in the morning. But I think overall we are in a great spot. We have, a good balance of free and exclusive and early access content for Patreon now. We have a good cadence of releases, which, by the way, after this episode, Pow Block's moving to Wednesdays, everybody. Just so everybody knows, Pow Block's moving to Wednesdays. Because it'll give our patrons and everybody else out there who listens on free feeds 2 days to listen to each episode instead of like 1 day for Boss Rush and then 3 days for Pow Block and then 2 days for After Dark. And then, nobody really listens to things on Sundays. So sometimes book club gets buried. And so like, you know what I mean? Like I'm just, we have a cadence that's going to work, and I'm very excited. And, the Boss Rush Plus feed, the new Boss Rush Plus podcast feed is a really great addition. So, very excited. Go check out Boss Rush Plus on podcast services, everybody. Basically, it's just all of our interviews and book clubs and anything else extra that we've ever done. It's all going to live there. If you want to see how you can become a Patreon producer, head on over to patreon.com/BossRushNetwork. The Patreon producers for this month are Adriel Munger, Austin Campbell, Celeste Roberts, Christian S., Sana Dirrig, Francisco Santillan, Matthew Keel, and Todd Oxtra. Thanks for your continued support of the Boss Rush Network.
Well, everybody, it's finally time for Family News. Corey, take it away.
Okay, Family News, Ed. So, the craziest thing this week,
and this is what caused our Fatal Frame discussion, everybody, so get ready.
Nintendo teased a horror game seemingly being made in-house at Nintendo, not from an external team, not from like a second party. This seems to be being made by Nintendo themselves. So the the trailer ended with some Japanese symbols, right?
I think it says like the smiling man or something
Yeah,
like that.
the translation was smiling man. And apparently the Japanese trailer has like a couple different smiling faces, and the imagery they put out is just really creepy. It's just this like creepy figure with a paper bag on their over their head, and it's just this like sharpie smiling face. Uh and so I don't know, this was a really strange thing to see on Nintendo's Twitter feed that morning. Um
And and to let everybody know, and if you haven't seen the trailer, do go watch the trailer. The man is in. He looks kind of like a detective ghost or something because he looked like he got like on a not so much of a business suit, but the coat that he's wearing is kind of a coat that looks like it would be in a detective game, like an old Nord like style detective game. And he's I believe he has like a white tie or in a white dress shirt. And when you look at it, it looks creepy because of the music that's playing. And this is a first for Nintendo. Just to let everybody know, this is Nintendo's first M-rated game,
yeah,
like
this is creepier
in-house
than
M-rated game.
so yeah, so I mean, well, it's not their first. I mean, Eternal Darkness is theirs,
But
right?
like you
But like
said, right? But that was Silicon Knights. That wasn't
yeah.
and that wasn't like you said. No one second party, no one external. Silicon Knights was external. You know, they were
Yeah.
like out. So, but for Nintendo themselves, like this is for America at least, this is their first M-rated game.
Yeah.
Um,
Yeah,
for it.
so the first of all, the Twitter account is just it's just the trailer slash image slash whatever it is, right? With the hashtag who is Emio? It's EMIO. Who is Emio? And some people thought that this might be Bloober Team's Nintendo horror game that they're making called Project M.
Mm-hmm.
Um and it seems, but it also seems to not be, because a lot of this is like they're really promoting it way different in Japan than they are here.
And plus, Bloober Team is working on Silent Hill 2 with
Yeah, but
Konami.
they have 3 games in development. Um so but yeah, I mean this is like this is just so strange and creepy and
I
very
don't think.
it's very un-Nintendo. Like it's just very this seems like something like like Resident Evil would put out to promote
Mm.
whatever's next, right? It does not. This is very un-Nintendo.
I I think well, and this is kind of what led to our Fredo frame discussion. Is because I know Nintendo. When we was talking Corey or texting, I thought Nintendo had stake in the Fatal Frame, like some kind of stock in it. Like they didn't publicly own it, but but with the games that they released exclusively on Nintendo, I thought Nintendo had some money investment in the series of Fatal Frame. So I'm thinking that hey, this is I didn't know at first at the time of seeing the trailer, I thought it could be something Fatal Frame related, and Nintendo was working with Koei Tecmo on this game. What I didn't know at the time was that it was in house.
Mm-hmm.
So I at that point when I found out it was in house, then I was just like, oh, this is definitely then a new IP, a new direction for Nintendo to put out a M-rated game. And for people, why it's going to be M-rated, there are some drugs, some drugs to suggestions, suicide, and some other things that will make it like M-rated and everything. So there
Which
is
surprises
murder.
me because
Okay.
suicide is kind of like a big no-no in Japan, right? I mean, that's like
Mm-hmm.
because there's the I forget what it's called, that like forest at the foot of the mountain, right? That a lot of people go to like commit suicide, right? And
Yeah,
so that's kind of like a big no topic in Japan. So for Nintendo to be tapping into that subject too is like, man, that's creepy. Although it might be like a murder mystery thing, right? Where like it looks
yeah,
like, you know, one thing, but might actually be like a homicide or something
yeah.
that you
And
have to figure out. And maybe that deals with the supernatural or this paper bag man or whatever.
right,
So
and I know people would say Conker's Bad Fur Day, but that was rare as an
also, it
M-rated
was a
game.
cartoon and more like South Park, not horror, right?
Right. So it's really interesting on where they're gonna go with this. We don't. There's no release date. There's no gameplay. I think it's cool that Nintendo did this because this wasn't
You know where
this.
we see this? You know where I bet we see this? Sorry, I don't mean to interrupt.
Oh, go ahead. No, go.
Tokyo Game Show. I bet
You
we see
think
it there.
Nintendo's participating?
They might be. I mean, they might not be, but they might be.
That would be interesting.
I mean, if it's in house and like this is their big horror franchise, or like, you know what I mean? Like maybe they have a Nintendo Direct before Tokyo Game Show and they show it off there, right? Like there's a lot
Mhm.
of possibilities, but this seems this seems I don't know, this seems really bold for them.
I was about to say the same thing. I think it's cool. It's both for the, and I think it gets people talking because right now it's a new IP for Nintendo, and to go in this direction, you can actually say, well, now all the first party systems got a M-rated game that was in house. Um, you know,
Sure,
so
but
it's. I mean, for some people, like I I consider Santa Monica like for Sony. I consider that as in house
well,
because
yeah, it is. No, but I
right.
mean like but so Sony is known for M-rated games and like
Mm-hmm.
I mean Xbox kind of is too. I mean Gears and
Gears,
Fable and I mean
yeah,
they have a lot of stuff like that. So I mean it's not uncommon for them to have it. It's uncommon
right,
for Nintendo. I mean the most M-rated thing we've gotten from Nintendo is Eternal Darkness and Bayonetta, right?
yeah.
Neither of which are like theirs. I mean Eternal Darkness technically, I guess, but like not theirs. So I don't know. This is weird. This is strange. This is like it's super intriguing. I want to know more, but I'm probably not going to play it because it looks like something that I would stay away from 1,000%.
Well, I definitely am going to buy it. I'm
Well, you
definitely
are.
going to play this, because they could go so many routes with this. Like this could be a visual novel game if they want to, or this could be a murder mystery, um, action style game. It could be Eternal Darkness elements input into this game, with it, but we just don't know yet, with this. And from the looks of it, Emio could be the villain of the game, could be the murderer or whatever, or it could be a ghost, and we have to figure out who it is. Like Nintendo could be actually going somewhere. We might actually get like voice acting from a Nintendo game. Like um and I don't know who the voice actors would be, but if this is, I won't say a new direction for Nintendo, but if it's going to be a new IP and everybody's complaining that Nintendo doesn't have this and that, and this is becomes the game to show them that they can do it, it's going to be very interesting what people are going to say. Because right now, if people are very intrigued, I think this game as a new IP could hit like at least 300,000 or 500,000, and it really could show that the Switch is, of course, is still living. It still got games coming, but I think there's still something about to say that yeah, Switch 2 successor is going to be in later on in the year of next of 2025 or close to 2026. It could be really pushing still a lot of games and stuff that we don't know and everything.
Yeah, it's gonna be fascinating to see what Nintendo continues to do with this, because it's very different for them.
It and Nintendo was smart to do this, because I think if they would have put this in a Nintendo Direct, I really think it could have messed up the flow of what
This
they have in.
this wouldn't fit in a Nintendo Direct, I feel like.
Mhm.
Like I really feel like this would not have fit in a Nintendo Direct. Um just because of how weird it is, right? So
Yeah.
um
So
but yeah, this was big surprise from Nintendo. Interested to learn more. Probably will not play. Our next story, Ed. Um Mario Kart 8 Deluxe, Ed, has sold a lot of copies. I don't know if you know this or not.
yes,
It's sold many copies. So many, in fact, that it has officially outsold the NES in terms of copies
that's
sold.
that's insane.
Yeah. I mean, like on like it's a nice little like headline, right? I feel like
Mhm.
gaming is way more popular now than it was then. And like I mean the NES sold a ton of it's ton for its time, right? But like um yeah, this is just kind of it's crazy.
I Has it become the number one exclusive first party title to sell? I think
Um
now,
that's a good question. I wonder. I don't know. That's a good question. I'm not sure,
because
to be honest.
when you got one game that outsold the console, that's big. Meaning that if this game keeps selling, Game Boy, I think, would be the next.
Mm,
Maybe
I don't know really. I don't know how many. I don't know those numbers off the top of my head, right? But I assume either way you spin it, it seems
Mhm.
like I mean it's just Mario Kart is not stopping, right? No pun intended.
Yeah.
It's not slowing down, and it's probably going to be one of Nintendo's best selling games of all time at some point,
I feel
if
like
it's
it
not
is.
already. You know,
Yeah.
it's so good though. Like it's amazing. Like this
Yeah.
game is incredible. So I don't. Good for them. That's
I
all I
mean,
can
if
say.
people, people
I'm glad one of their games from the Wii U found an audience.
I mean, people are still doing tournaments online, just like getting groups together, having it as a weekend game. Like, people are still having fun with this.
Yeah, it's good for them. Um, good for them. I think
Which
Mario Kart 8 is amazing.
which meaning that there could be more sale numbers for the Switch itself.
Yeah. All right, Ed. Last news story. There's not a whole lot this week. But we are getting 3 Japan only Game Boy Advance games on NSO. It is the Starfy Prince of Puff Top. uh, so yeah, we're getting 3 games on the Game Boy Advance. I'm not even going to try to pronounce these Japanese names for these, but Starfy is like it looks like a platformer, right?
Yeah, it's
So
Densetsu.
yeah, it's a beautiful looking game. Series of games, I guess.
We had it come one of them come out, I think, for the DS. Um,
Yeah, there's one that came over here on the DS. Pat was talking about it in our group chat today. But
okay.
other than that, like it's
Yeah, because I didn't know that. I When I seen the character, I'm like, oh, that was a DS game. Like, I knew that he was in America. I didn't know that he was on the GBA, but he
mhm.
was only in Japan. And these games, and that's what I love about NSO, is that when they have the import version, like the Japan only games, and the Nintendo and the NES USA version of games out. And this one is in Japan, everybody. Like, from um the talking, well, not so much the talking, like the word box and everything, to even the button layout. It's like all of that is all in Japan.
Mhm.
So uh I downloaded it today because I didn't know that it had just dropped. I think it had just came out of nowhere, and I didn't even see Nintendo post it on Twitter or anything. All I know is that I seen it on IGN.
Mm.
Just like, oh, okay. Um,
Yeah,
and then his
I think
oh
they posted it somewhere, but I don't really remember where. I'm not gonna lie.
yeah, so I'm definitely gonna give it a try. I've never got to play these games, so and it looked pretty much fun, like easy
They
to
look like
explain.
you know what it reminds me of? The art style, at least, is Mischief Makers a little bit.
Yeah,
A little bit. Not like a ton, but it totally has that feel, at least.
yes.
So, but that's the news. That's all we got. Um, not a whole lot to write home about this week. So, um, but we do have a topic, Ed, which I thought was pretty good. And I know we read Josh Martinez's banter, Boss Rush banter from last week, but this one is very interesting that I thought we should probably talk about too. So this is Boss Rush banter from bossrush.net, our website, from Josh Martinez, who's been on the show before. Um, he wrote a banter called Monster Hunter Stories 2 has made me reconsider the franchise. And so I thought an interesting topic would be if there is ever a game that made you reconsider any sort of franchise or genre of game. Um,
Oh, heck
because
yeah.
I mean, obviously I think the big one right now would be Elden Ring is making people reconsider going back to old Dark Souls games or other games like that. Or, I think Breath of the Wild really opened people's eyes up to Zelda, right? I mean, it's the
Hmm.
best selling Zelda game ever. And maybe they're going back on NSO or older systems to go play that, right? So,
Yeah.
um, I mean, I can probably think of a couple examples of games, right? So,
For me, it's Mass Effect 2.
mm,
I did, and let me
it's a
tell
great
you
game.
why I say Mass Effect 2, everybody. I did not like BioWare at all. I played Star Wars, something of the Old
Knights of the
Republic,
Old Republic.
Knights of the Old Republic, and I played that on the Xbox. And it to me, it's a terrible mess of a game.
Oh, it's amazing. You don't play
Like
it for the gameplay though. You play it for the story.
I tried to even get into the story, and the thing was confusing as ever. So I just did not give that game a fair try. I think it was too complicated as a game for me. But when I talked to my friend when I was at Toys R Us, and he's still my friend, we still talk when we can. Um, he told me just like play the Mass Effect games, and went with two first, and then I went back to. I was just like, okay, it's good and stuff, but then he was just like, no, really give these games a try. So I brought the Mass Effect trilogy that was on PS3 at that time. And I started from the first game. Uh, didn't like the gameplay, but thought the characters was intriguing, and talked to my friends. I got to Mass Effect 2, and every day I was going into work, I was talking to my friend, be like, this is the drama, this is the character, this happened. And I could not stop talking about that game. We literally would step aside while still at work getting paid, not doing nothing, talk for 45 minutes about that game. And literally, I was just like, okay, now I'll see why people like Bioware's games. So, like, I got Jade Empire. Like I said, still don't like the Knights of the Old Republic, but it is what it is.
It's so funny that
Um,
you like Jade Empire, not Knights of the Republic. It's literally the same game.
I think it's because of the martial arts of that game, and Jade Empire was easier to play for me. Um, I got Dragon Age Origins and Dragon Age 2 on PS3. Like I said, I'm playing Dragon Age Inquisition. I played Mass Effect Andromeda, which I thoroughly enjoyed. I didn't have a problem with that. Um, but like it was Mass Effect 2 that really made me become a big BioWare fan. That I just started enjoying their previous games in some of their current games. That's why when I seen Dragon Age Velgar, I'm like super excited for that game. I'm like, oh, this is so much up my alley. The combat looks fast and fun. Like there's just something more appealing, and uh it is all because of Mass Effect 2 for me. Um that happened. I did not like Destiny, but Destiny 2 made me a I won't say a big fan, but it really made me a fan of Bungie, because I when I played Halo for Xbox, did not like it. Got to the end, the cars, like I say, and even though I feels like I'm trashing it, the cars felt like rocks was in a garbage can and I was pushing and driving it. Like it was just so bad. But Destiny 2, I'm not gonna deny. Uh it Destiny 2, the first version of it really felt good. Just definitely on Xbox, it really felt great. Playing the final shape and playing it with me 60 frames per second, I was just like, oh, this is everything. This is what I like, about Bungie now. Like they got it right. When they're in their bag, they're really in their bag for it. So yeah, definitely those two games. Like it took me a while. Fire Emblem not so much, but I understand Fire Emblem Awakening helped people get into the franchise. Same as Monster Hunter 4 on 3DS. That helped people get into the system because Monster Hunter 3 Ultimate on Wii U was kind of the bridging gap of it, and regardless if you liked it or not, for some unknown reason, that game helped make Monster Hunter 4 popular. Once Monster Hunter 4 was popular on 3DS, the series became a mainline game. Like, and you cannot deny, just the sale numbers on it. Like 3DS was change. This was the thing with Nintendo around that time. They were really changing a lot of game companies' perspective, and once again making them money, because people started going playing those games, and they they were the hot commodity. They became the mainline games, and it just happened a little bit for some people overnight. Like a lot of people can't really explain it, but then when you go and you play those games, you start understanding why. That's why Fire Emblem Awakening led to all of those 3DS games. And then you go to Three Houses, and Three Houses is now like the game that people recommend when it comes to any Fire Emblem game. Like Three Houses exploded in that kind of genre. Hades did it for like a lot of the roguelike kind of games for some people. Like they started getting more into that genre of games because of Hades.
Mm-hmm.
And a little bit in Dead Cells also did
Yeah.
too.
Yeah. Um. Yeah. I mean, there's been quite a bit of there's been quite a few games that I've reconsidered. Kind of returning to the series. I think Halo 3 was actually one of them because I had
Mm-hmm.
never I played Halo 1. I liked it. I didn't love it. I actually didn't play Halo 2 until after Halo 3 came out. Um I mean,
Wow.
that's not entirely true. I played Halo 2 multiplayer before, but I had never played the campaign until after Halo 3 came out. And I was like, well, I should probably play the campaign of Halo 2 before I play Halo 3's campaign. And it was okay, but I really loved Halo 3's multiplayer and campaign so much that I went back and played 1 and 2 again and like fell in love with Halo that way.
Mm-hmm.
Um, and really gave me a big appreciation for what Xbox was doing in that space, because like, I mean, obviously like Halo was obviously a huge deal, right? And obviously it changed the way we thought about shooters on console. Um, but it took me a while to like realize like what it was doing, right?
Yeah.
Um, because at the time, like the only shooters I had really played on console were GoldenEye and Perfect Dark. Because I wasn't really into shooters. I was into RPGs and action games and Mario and Zelda and stuff at the time, right? So like I wasn't
Right.
really, I mean, I was playing like SSX and Extreme G and stuff like that. So Matt, I mean, and at the time too, that generation, I was really big into Madden and sports games too. So I wasn't exactly like exploring gaming at that time for a lot of different reasons, but that whole era and Final Fantasy 10 got me into JRPGs and going back to 9 and 8 and then venturing forward into different types of RPGs like Kingdom Hearts action RPG or
Hmm.
Knights of the Republic and Fable on Xbox or um Jade Empire as well and Dragon Quest 8 was incredible
That was a big one on PS2.
and then looking for more JRPGs and action RPGs, I ventured into Dark Cloud and Dark Cloud 2, and then I discovered,
Man,
Tales of
that
Symphonia and
series.
Skies of Arcadia and Rogue Galaxy and Xenosaga. And like after
Hmm.
Xenosaga came out, I ended up going back to Xenogears and like all these games, like it was more of like a discovery thing than actually like, you know, going back to explore the franchises, right? It was more of a I'm discovering these games for the first time because of other games. And
Right.
um I always kind of attribute the N64 of me falling in love with games, but I would probably attribute like you know after I left when I was in college in Columbus, after I left Columbus and coming home and trying to like really figure out what the next step in my life was at that time, right? Like exploring video games and trying to figure out, you know, I was really finding out what types of games that I really liked. And, I
Hmm.
got really into Gears. For a long time, I was into Gears. So there was just a lot of games out that I found because of certain games. And I think that's the bigger thing is discoverability. And then obviously like, Uncharted came out and the new Tomb Raider games and DMC and
Hmm.
uh then like the door was blown wide open and obviously we got Mass Effect, which was incredible, which led me to like Alpha Protocol and some of these other RPG-esque shooters and uh Gears led me to a bunch of different third person shooters like weird ones like Vanquish and Binary Domain and
Yeah.
all these crazy like it was just the explosion of exploration and then we got like we were starting to get decent license games again like Arkham and the Transformers games
Yep.
and that kind of stuff. Man, Cybertron Transformers games are incredible and I really hope those end up
I,
coming to
I
Game Pass
think
at
you
some
was
point.
talking. I think you was talking to Todd Oxtra at Secret Friends about that.
Yeah, we were talking about it at some point. Yeah. uh
Yeah.
because they were talking about the Marvel stuff coming, and I'm like, but man, what about Transformers?
Transformers. Yeah. I know. Um. And not to cut you off, Corey. I know Medal of Honor Frontline on GameCube made people get into the Medal of Honor series, and it was literally something about that game. Definitely with the orchestrated music, the storytelling. Like a lot of people in that area into getting into like modern first person shooters and stuff. Because first person shooters were like really big more on PC than those consoles. I remember Medal of Honor Frontline just being a huge thing and getting people into playing these first person shooters from EA. Because I think Battlefield was out, but man, just Medal of Honor's Frontline, that was a milestone. That was a really big thing from and I think that's why they got into more of the 007 games, like with EA and the license stuff, because of Medal of Honor Frontline.
Yeah.
Um,
Well, then, like, I mean, yeah, I mean, like, double 007 was like, that made me kind of explore other shooters, right? And so
Mm-hmm.
like I kind of found my way to things like Doom that way, or remember Return to Castle Wolfenstein on the original Xbox, or
Yeah.
some of these other games that I had never experienced shooters before. Like I was just not a shooter person, because a lot of shooters up until that point were regulated to like PC, right? And
Mm-hmm.
and um, I mean, yes, we got shooters on N64, which is where I was primarily at the time, right, with Turok and uh, GoldenEye and these other things. But like, you know, it just
Dekatan.
it's so crazy thinking about all that stuff now because like, who would have thought like my favorite game of all time was a first person shooter? If you would have told me that when I was playing GoldenEye on N64 when I was like 10 or 11 or 12
Mm-hmm.
or however old I was when that game came out, I would have said you were nuts, right? But here we are. Destiny is like, if I was to rank like my top 5 favorite franchises, Destiny would probably be in the top 2 or 3 at this point.
Yeah,
Um,
I think that's why when you think of like 2D fighting games, and of course everybody gonna say Capcom, that's why Marvel vs. Capcom 2, when you see the Nintendo Direct reactions, it's because 2D fighters, everybody feel like peaked at that at Marvel vs. Capcom 2. So that made them get into those 2D fighters. Even though that Tekken and Virtua Fighter was out, like and Sim and Soul Calibur / Low Edge, those games were out.
mhm,
When it came to sprite based 2D fighting, Marvel vs. Capcom 2 was the thing. Now, Tatsunoko Capcom is a different story. And the reason I mentioned that, everybody, is because even though it's part of the Versus series, that control layout changed a lot of Capcom's 2D fighters. I mean, Street Fighter is still like a 6-button fighting game, but like for a lot of the Versus game, they went to that 4-button panel
mhm,
that Tatsunoko versus Capcom had and
mhm,
everything. So it's interesting to see that when you play a certain game and it's good, you go back in that developers or publishers or that game's history and go look out and play for those other titles. And I know we didn't mention a lot of Nintendo stuff. Um, it's because that Nintendo really had a big establishment in their first party games. So, if it was available for you to go and play, for which a lot of their games are now, you could understand why there is a love for that particular series. There are some games that you can't go back legally at this time, I would say that. But if you could find a way to play those, you will understand why those games still hold up to today, and why those games are still loved.
mhm.
I think that's why, and I would definitely give it to Xbox with Game Pass, um, because some of their 360 titles that they have on there, or some of their first party games from other developers like Bethesda, that's on there, that you could go back and check out the history of those games and play them, and
Mhm.
I'm and definitely enjoy it for what they offer and stuff.
Yeah.
So yeah.
Yeah, and I think I mean I think you and I both use Game Pass for I mean, we use it for discoverability, but I think the games that we
Mhm.
like, we just go and purchase on Switch, which is
Yeah.
probably not what Xbox wants, but you know,
And
I don't
and I
really
would
think Xbox really knows what they want at this point either.
and
So,
and and I'm not gonna lie, I will double dip on Xbox too and play that version of the game, even regardless if it's better um in a lot of sense because of the power of the console. I still enjoy the experience that is presented on.
mhm,
And like, shoot, I did a lot of the Yakuza series on Xbox. I just this like past year, like at the beginning of the year, I did the Judgment games on Xbox. Even though I owned
mhm,
them on PS4, I got the whole Yakuza series the new moderate remake Yakuza series, everybody, because 1 and 2 was on PlayStation 2, and I beat 1, but I never got to beat 2 on PlayStation 2. So, but I got that whole series, and I just need to go revisit them. But like when I played Yakuza 1 on PS2, I was hooked on that game and everything. It was bunkers. Um, it had what I like that RPG, but it also had like brawling, like the Final Fight stuff that I enjoy. I was hooked by playing the first game, so it made me continue to go with the series, and I need to go finish up that some of the games in the series. But I thoroughly enjoyed it because of the Yakuza game on
Mm-hmm.
PS2.
Yeah,
It-
it's games are games are fun, and the more that you can discover from this type of stuff, like,
mm-hmm.
I mean, I guess kind of wrapping this back to like Monster Hunter in general, like, I mean, that's what the article's about. It's not necessarily about that, but you know what I mean. Like, it's
Yeah.
I I mean, Monster Hunter World got me interested in Monster Hunter, and then Monster Hunter Stories got me even more into Monster Hunter. I spent a lot of time with Monster Hunter Stories when it came out. Um, and I mean, I wish I would have finished it, and part of me still wants to go back and finish it at some point, but
Mm-hmm.
uh, still, it's like a big thing, and I'm glad that Monster Hunter is finally getting its due. It seems, um, just because it's been so all over the place for a while. I'm glad I'm glad Monster Hunter is getting some recognition finally. I guess
Yeah.
that's what I'm saying. So, but yeah,
Yeah.
that was a good conversation. I'm glad that we picked that one. So,
Yes.
oh, well, Ed, it's time for Pack Watch. This is what you can
Yes.
expect to see from the Nintendo eShop the week of
Ooh.
the 15th, I guess, 7/15. That's what day this
Yes.
comes out, right? So, uh-oh, Ed's phone's ringing, everybody. Shocker. On 7/15, on July 15th, you'll get Darkest Dungeon 2. Darkest Dungeon 2 is a roguelike road trip of the damned for a party equipped for from the form a party, equip your coach, and set off across the decaying landscape on a last gasp quest to avert the apocalypse. The great dangers you face, however, may come from within. Great. Another roguelite. On on July 17th. Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles Splintered Fate. When Splinter is kidnapped by Shredder, mysterious portals simultaneously appear across New York City, with April and Metalhead analyzing recovered artifacts for clues. The Turtles battle to recover their father from the clutches of the Foot Clan. However, as the gang gets ever closer to Splinter's otherworldly location, an even greater threat lingers in the shadows. In Splintered Fate, brace yourself for fast-paced roguelike action on 2 runs, where no 2 runs are the same, with randomized power-ups, room layouts, and boss modifiers. The excitement never ends. Take control of all 4 turtles, wielding unique powers, and team with friends for bodacious co-op gameplay. Explore iconic New York City locations, upgrade your turtles' powers, and prepare to face off against formidable enemies. The sad thing is this game looks really cool, but I do not want to play another roguelike. uh, and then on 7/18, Nintendo's releasing their July first party game, Nintendo World Championship NES Edition. Test your speedrunning skills across more than 150 challenging moments from 13 NES classic games. Compete against players around the world online, challenge your friends on the couch, or try to see how far you can push your personal bests. So they did reveal that the developer behind the NES Remix games is behind this. So, which I think we kind of knew but didn't know, but kind of assumed. So, but that's what's coming out this weekend. That's what you
Yes.
can buy. That's what you can buy on your Nintendo Switch. And then also, like we mentioned earlier, the Starry games are coming to NSO.
Yes.
So, I didn't ask for questions. I forgot. I'm going to be honest with you. I've been super busy and just forgot to ask for questions in Discord. I don't know if you
So
got any.
I did ask in Discord. I did ask for Twitter, and we just didn't get any today. So
Yeah. Oh well, it's fine. It's
yes.
okay.
So
next time, write in.
Yes.
Write in, everybody. We're looking forward to it.
Yes.
Looking forward to your write-ins.
Yes, everybody. We would love to have your questions. Well, thanks for listening and or watching Nintendo Pow Block, which is part of the Boss Rush pod. Sorry about that. Thanks for listening and or watching Nintendo Pow Block, which is part of the Boss Rush Network. If you enjoyed our discussion, please do subscribe on YouTube or your favorite podcast application. You can support us over on Patreon. That's patreon.com/Boss Rush Network. Any tier grants you early access to all of our podcasts. Follow us on all social media platforms at Boss Rush Network. Thanks everybody for listening, and we'll see you next time. Bye everybody. Woohoo!
Goodbye. If you want to see how you can become a Patreon producer, head on over to patreon.com/Boss Rush Network. The Patreon producers for this month are Adriel Munger, Austin Campbell, Celeste Roberts, Christian S., Sana Dirrig, Francisco Santillan, Matthew Keel, and Todd Oxtra. Thanks for your continued support of the Boss Rush Network.